After showing my short film to my target audience and people in my class, they said that they have been moved by my short film and that a lot of thought had gone into the process of making it. My target audience would be reformers in a socio-economic grouping between C1 and E. I tried to show my short film to as many people that fit into my target audience as possible. However, this was unachievable because most people I know are students my own age. I asked the people that had watched my film for some feedback. They commented on a couple of things, such as a shot that I had stabilised, where the screen moves slightly, like it almost wobbles. They suggested that I used a tripod the next time round, or perhaps reshoot footage if the footage isn't steady enough, so that all my shots look professional. I also asked my audience if they understood the narrative. The audience said that they could clearly follow the narrative and that they liked the fact that the future was set in black and white, so they could easily see which scene was set in the future and which was set in the present. Something else that they said they liked was the last shot where the old version of the young boy fades back into the young boy. They said that these two characters look similar to one another and this really helps them follow the narrative. As well as making the shots black and white, I also added titles that show the date 2017 and the 2023. This made it easier for the audience to follow the narrative. Lots of people in my audience said that they felt the voiceover really added to the emotion because they could clearly see how personal this was, as well as having the young person play the main character makes them feel sorry for them more because they are so young and innocent and can't be helped. They also liked that I used a subtle piano music in the background that they said worked well and built up in places where the voiceover quietened and quietened where the voiceover began. This enabled the audience to always have something to focus on. Another element of my sound that they liked was the beginning, where I used a recording of my family singing Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you, which starts before anything comes on the screen. The use of the high-frequency noise also enabled the audience to see what it was like for someone with autism when the noise gets too much, which is what I really wanted to convey to my audience. The beginning also draws my audience in and made them want to know more, especially as the screen was blank, but they could hear what was going on. I got a preferred reading from my audience as I wanted them to really see what it is like for someone living with autism, as it isn't something that is really talked about much, which is why people really felt moved by my short film. This is what I wanted, so the audience got a preferred reading as they agreed and felt the way that I intended and wanted them to feel. Something that my audience said I needed to work on was making sure my pull focus was properly in focus. This can be seen in a couple of times. For example, when my main character is sitting on the sand with the dunes and the beach in the background. He begins out of focus with the beach and dunes in focus. Then the depth of field gets shallower, except I don't completely focus on my main character, so he isn't quite focused. Something else that I could improve for next time would be using a proper mic, as I use my phone to record the voiceovers. In several of the voiceovers, this can be noticed because there is some background noise and rustling can be heard. However, if I had used a proper mic, this problem would have probably been solved. However, I decided not to, as my phone was much easier and more accessible, and working with an actor that actually has autism, it was easier to do it when and where they felt comfortable to do so. A few members of my audience said that they could relate to the young boy, especially when the voiceover talks about struggling and not being good enough, something that a lot of people feel but don't really talk about. This is why my target audience would probably enjoy my short film more than my peers, as they would be able to relate to the young boy more.